Well, hello, my valued listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Living in Your Power. I'm your host, Dr. Marlene Greenleaf, and I am so thankful that you're joining me again as we continue our November series, Gratitude in Motion, Leading, Living, and Giving from the Heart. So as we move deeper into this season of gratitude and giving, I want to remind you of something important. You can't pour from an empty cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And with that in mind, today's episode is titled, Giving from the Overflow, Serving Without Losing Yourself. Because service, dear listeners, is sacred, but only when it's sustained by strength and not depletion. So let's be honest here. Many of us, I'm sure, we love to help, we love to serve, and we love to give. We pour into our families, our communities, our jobs, and our ministries. But somewhere along the way, we forget that giving without refilling leads to burnout and not blessings. Luke 6:38 reminds us, give and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, it will be poured into your lap. Now that running over, that's your overflow. And that's the place where giving becomes joyful again. If you are constantly exhausted, it's not because you're doing too much good. It's because you're doing good without grounding. And God never called you to empty yourself beyond what He's equipped you to carry. We've been conditioned to believe that love equals self-sacrifice. That good leaders, good parents, good Christians should give until it hurts. But Jesus Himself modeled something different. Mark 1:35 says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where He prayed. Even Jesus withdrew. Even He paused to refill His spirit before serving others. He understood that purpose without presence leads to exhaustion. Your rest, dear listeners, is not rebellion. It is, in fact, a responsibility. And when you protect your energy, you protect your effectiveness. Boundaries are not walls. They are wisdom. I've said this to you before. They are how you guard the garden of your peace. Every time you say no to what drains you, you're saying yes to what sustains you. Some of us has been giving out of guilt. Guilt for saying no. Guilt for taking breaks. Guilt for not being everything to everyone. But here's what I've learned. When you start operating from overflow instead of obligation, your yes becomes more powerful. Why? Because it's coming from purpose and not pressure. And that shift, that's where your peace begins. So how do we keep our cups full? And how do we give from overflow? I'm going to share with you 3 simple secret steps that I have used, and I hope it will help you. First and foremost is rest intentionally. Not just sleep, but restoration. Turn off your phone, close the laptop, and let God speak in the silence. Rest intentionally. I've made a commitment to myself on the weekends during my Sabbath from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday that I turn off all of these things. I don't participate. Now I take that back because I keep the phone on, but I don't participate. I do not participate. I do not go to my desktop. I don't look at my emails. I pull away from technology and what I do during the week to rest intentionally. Now the second thing that I do is to replenish spiritually. Spend time in prayer, in the Word, or in nature, and ask, Lord, what do you want to refill in me today? This is something that I strive to do on a daily basis. Wake up in the morning, have that quiet time with God, and out in nature when I go for my 3+ mile jog in the morning. That's me replenishing spiritually. And third, release what's not yours to carry. I know. You are not responsible for everyone's healing, happiness, or outcomes. So do your part and let God handle the rest. And when you give from overflow, you're no longer striving, you're stewarding. Because I've had that challenge to release what's not yours to carry. Because I just assumed that I had to be the one to take care of any and everyone and everything that came my way. But no. As it said, do your part and let God handle the rest. Because when you give from overflow, you're no longer striving, you're stewarding. Now, gratitude, it keeps the flow alive. When you thank God for what's already in your hands, you make room for more. And when you give from a grateful heart, your service becomes an act of worship. Philippians 4:19 says, and my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of His glory in Christ Jesus. He's not asking you to give from lack. He's promising to sustain you as you pour. So here's your empowerment prompt for this week. I want you to take a quiet moment this week to reflect on these questions. First is, am I giving from my overflow or from my emptiness? What practices help me refill my spiritual and emotional cup? And where do I need to set or reinforce boundaries lovingly but firmly? I'm going to repeat those 3 reflective questions for you. First, am I giving from my overflow or from my emptiness? Next, what practices helps me refill my spiritual and emotional cup? And the third, where do I need to set or reinforce boundaries lovingly but firmly? So I want you to write these down, pray over them, and let God show you where He's calling you to rest so you can rise again. So Now, in closing, my friends, I want you to remember that your giving, it does matter, but so does your well-being. You don't have to lose yourself to love others well. Because when you give from overflow and not exhaustion, your light shines brighter and your joy lasts longer and your impact runs deeper. So I want to thank you for joining me again on this journey in this episode of Living in Your Power. So until next time, dear listeners, I want you to remember to live boldly in your power today. And if it gets tough, just breathe. You still have the strength to rise. So continue to live in your power.